Good evening and welcome to my YouTube channel, The Abuse of Power, State and Legal. This is AIB Mortgage Bank and it's episode 2 and it's following on from last week's YouTube video. Please take a look in the descriptions box. It sets out disclosures and what this YouTube channel is about. Bear in mind, this is affidavit evidence. It's my affidavit evidence which was filed in the High Court in these proceedings. This affidavit evidence wasn't replied to or refuted by the other side. But just because it wasn't replied to, that doesn't mean there's more than one side to every story. And it's explained in the descriptions. This is my version of events, and the other side may wish to refute it at some stage. If they do, that's their option. Anyway, this is the story of loan number 11876-020. Last week, an order of possession was signed by last week's video. An order of possession was signed by the County Registrar, and I appealed that decision to the judge of the Circuit Court. It was signed on the 9th of July 2019. There were a number of appearances. There were call-over lists. It was removed. It was put in for hearing. It was withdrawn. It was resubmitted. All that kind of carry on. But the next time it appeared was of significance was the 11th of February 2022. The matter appeared before Judge Colin Daly. So it took 2 years and 7 months. Now, 1 year of that was the COVID pandemic, so the courts were maybe closed for a year, or maybe there was a year that all applications were delayed. So this time period is in the middle of the pandemic. I'm appealing the order of possession signed by the County Registrar on 3 grounds: the behaviour of the County Registrar and the barrister that secured the court order, Anita Finucane, alleged untruthful content and sworn affidavits supplied by AIB Bank, and the third one is the performance of my loan wasn't looked at in any shape or form. Right, so basically we appeared in court. There was I'm a layperson, but there was a handful of barristers standing in front of the judge. There seemed to be no members of the public in court that day. The judge said the matter was for hearing. It was on the hearing list, and I said, sorry, this isn't for hearing today. And he asked me, how long is it going to take? I said, it's going to take half a day. Why is it going to take half a day? I said, I'm calling 3 witnesses. To my right-hand side, Anita Finucane was stood beside me, the barrister at law representing Joint and Crawford law firm in these proceedings. And Anita Finucane, when I said I'll be calling 3 witnesses, Anita snapped, first I've heard of it. The judge started thinking, and the judge turned to the clerk and he said, clerk, when's the next slot available that we have half a day to hear this matter? The clerk went to the diary and she said, Judge, it's in 6 weeks' time, which is, this is the 11th of February. It's a date in March, bear with me now. Here we go. It's 6 weeks' time, which is Friday the 25th of March. Judge Daly turned and said to me, he said, will 6 weeks' time be enough time to issue the witness summonses? I said, Judge, well, I was reading court rules. I said, court rules state that witnesses have to be given a reasonable amount of time, a reasonable amount of notice to attend court. So I said, you've got discretion here. I said, if you think 6 weeks satisfies the word reasonable in the court rules, I said, then we're good to go. It's okay. Clerk, fix these proceedings for hearing. He turned to the clerk, said, fix the proceedings. Friday, the 25th of March, 2022, 10 a.m., first order of business. The clerk made a note of the judge's direction in the diary. And Judge Daly asked me for the names of the witnesses. I only had 1 witness name to hand, which I gave the judge, and I said, let me look in my file. And I started searching my file for the other witness names. So just to recap there, Judge Daly said, how long will it take? We've got 16 data points here, which are really important. Judge Daly asked me, how long will the hearing take? And I responded, half a day. He said, why half a day? I said, I'm calling 3 witnesses. Anita Finucane responded, "First I've heard of it," and she made no objection. Whether or not she had the power to object to Judge Daly calling witnesses or not, I really don't know. Judge Daly checked the availability with the clerk when's the next time window of half a day for hearing. The judge replied 6 weeks' time, the 25th of March at 10 a.m. Judge Daly clarified was enough time to issue notice. I said court rules said reasonable notices, witnesses must be given reasonable notice. Judge Daly asked for the names of the witnesses, and then he directed the clerk to fix the hearing. I then said to Judge Daly the following. I said, "Judge, just to clarify, because there was confusion today, you thought the matter was going ahead today when it's not." I said, "Are we going ahead at 10 a.m. on Friday, the 25th of March, first item of business for hearing with 3 AIB witnesses in attendance? Is that correct?" Judge Daly responded, "Yes." "Issue those summonses straight away." I said, "Judge, I can't do it today because of COVID. The slots down in the courthouse, you just can't turn up." I said, "I have to print off the witness summons. I have to get down to the office. It has to be signed, I think, by the County Registrar. I then have to serve it on the other side. I then have to come back and have to put it in again." I said, "Today is Friday." I said, "It will be Monday before I get it done." And Judge Daly did this. He nodded at me just like that. Anita Finucane, who was on my right-hand side, she turned and she scurried out of the courtroom. So that was the end of proceedings. Right. On Tuesday morning, now I couldn't get the witness summons issued on on Monday, because I had to make 2 trips to the court office. And I couldn't get in. You have to book your time slots, and the second time slot was gone, so I had to book it for Tuesday morning. So on Tuesday morning, which was the, I don't have it here in front of me now. Tuesday morning was the, everything. Friday 11th, Saturday 12th, Sunday 13th, Monday 14th. Tuesday the 15th of February, I issued the summons to Joint and Crawford Law Firm, and they received that summons compelling the attendance of 3 AIB employees at Limerick Circuit Civil Court the following morning on Wednesday the 16th of February 2022. Let me see, that's the end of this video pretty much now. Accordance with court rules. Content today's sworn affidavit evidence. Maybe effective issues, and yeah, that's really it. So we've issued the witness summons, and the hearing is set for 6 weeks' time. 6 weeks' time from today, but by the video. So the next YouTube video I upload will be we're attending court on Friday the 25th of March at 10 a.m, hopefully with 3 AIB witnesses. Why am I calling 3 AIB witnesses? I identified some incorrect and truthful content in sworn affidavit evidence that the AIB had supplied. So I made a subject data access request to AIB Bank, and I got the audio recordings of the calls. So my plan is to put the AIB employees into the witness box, have them read out the sworn affidavit evidence, and then I will play the audio recording to the judge. The AIB employee who swore the affidavit, he inserted a piece of text. He said, "I rely on the actions and deeds of others that I believe were true." That sentence is needed when you're jumping from employee to employee, but it's also a way of maybe, say, inserting something that's untruthful. And if it's evidence that it's untruthful, you can kind of blame somebody else. So what I did was I summoned the person who signed the affidavit and also the second person that they were relying on. So if the judge found wrongdoing, he had the 2 of them in the courtroom. And the third AIB employee that I summoned was to discuss the performance of the loan. And that's really it. So I said, we'll try and get next week's video loaded up next week. And that will be regarding Friday the 25th of March, regarding 3 AIB employees turning up in court. And thanks for listening. And remember, this is a one-sided version of events, although it is my sworn affidavit evidence. Anyone that's affected by this, the people I've mentioned that their images. They're all available on Google Images. So if anyone wants to see what these people look like. Okay, and see you next week. Thank you.